Afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Good afternoon to those watching live. And I wanted to come on and have a little play with the stamping that I did last night. So yes, it's not my usual time, but it's been brought to my attention that some people are actually awake at this time of day. And I thought, well, there's no harm in some of you catching me on the replay. Sorry if you've missed the chat though. Right, so I've got these leafy, tree, branchy type things that I created yesterday, and I was looking around for an interesting fun fold, and I've come across this. Now, the original idea, so I was inspired by somebody else, a lady called Ruth Hamilton, and I printed off a template that she has on her blog. I went back to try and find where it was and I couldn't. I'm really sorry. But anyway, I've actually adapted this and I've made it smaller. So this was designed for a full-size sheet of cardstock, A4 I think, but you know, A4 stroke letter size. So what I've gone and done is I've redesigned it to fit half a sheet, and also I've done it actually in inch measurements, just to make it a bit easier. So I'm going to go through how I've done that, and then I'm going to decorate my pop-up, my little template thing here, and see how we go from there. And yeah, it's quite a nifty little thing. You can fold it up so that you can put it in your envelope, sorry, like this, and then it will pop up, and then you'll have this sort of section at the front sort of displaying your stamping, which I thought was quite nice. But I wanted to try and find a way of actually cutting my stamping up so to use the whole sheet of it and actually cover all of it and make it a bit more interesting. Yes, you could do a pop-up tree. That's a really good idea. Yes, you could, you know, maybe put a tree on the front there. That's a good idea, Martina. Yes, love that idea. Yeah, so if you've got the dies that went with this set, you could do that. I think I still got them actually. So but they're not in the current catalogue, but I do still have them. Okay, so let's get cutting, and I will try and explain each step as I go along. Now, if you have the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, it should make life a bit easier for you because there is a cutting blade and a scoring blade in these trimmers. And I've realised that actually the trimmer is something that I use nearly every episode, apart from when I'm just doing stamping. And it's one of those things that are kind of those hidden kind of gem tools, and really great if you're, you know, starting out with card making. Okay, so I've put my cardstock in landscape. We're only going to be using half of it, so I'm going to cut it at the 5.5 inch mark. So put that spare bit away, and then I'm going to cut this to the 8 inch mark. So if you're using letter size paper, that will work fine. Right, so then the next thing that I do is I'm going to score. Hold on, let me just check this for myself. Right, I'm going to score at 2 inches at the side here. So hopefully you'll be able to, you know, if you want to make this, you can watch this back. Turn it around and score at 2 inches on this side too. And then I'm going to turn my cardstock so it's portrait, and I'm going to put my cardstock in at 1.5 inches, and before putting my plastic arm down, I'm going to move my cutting blade. So this is my cutting blade. Now please don't get confused with the Stampin' Up. So this is the Stampin' Up cutting blade, and this is a score. Now when you buy the trimmer, this is actually a lighter colour. I broke mine, so this is a replacement one from another company. Right, so I'm going to pop that in at the 2 inch mark. So you should have the inch arm in. There is a metric arm available actually, but I've got the inch one in. So I'm going to place it at 2 inches and pull my cutting blade down to 6 inches and stop there. Then I'm going to turn the paper around again, put it at 1.5 inches, and again do the same. So go in at 2 inches. So putting, and it's quite handy, there's a little like line across the middle that you can meet up with the 2 inch markings at the side, and then bring that down to 6 inches, or where you did your previous score line. So you should have fold, fold, cut there. Then I'm going to place my cardstock in at 3 inches here. Move my cutting blade out the way because I don't need that anymore, and move my score blade to where that cutting mark starts and score down to the next cutting mark. Okay, I'm just going to wiggle that backwards and forwards. Then I'm going to push my cardstock into 5 inches, 5 inches here, and score from here back up, so just up to the cut lines. So that's done, and then I'm just going to pop that back then to 4 inches and score from the middle section and then the bottom section. So I'm just going to go like that, then lift that up, bring this down and score that middle section there. All right, so if you need to watch that back again, do watch that again. Right, so in terms of folding this, now turn your piece of cardstock over and fold these end pieces up. If you want to use your bone folder just to add some burnishing, you can do. Turn the paper around, cardstock around, and fold it upwards like that. Okay, now this is probably where it gets a little bit tricky because we're sort of folding some bits and not folding others. So then what you need to do is try and push this middle section up while you then create a valley fold with that score that's in between. Like so, and you see that cardstock is starting to bend upwards, and then you can pop then you can fold these over like so. Okay, so what should happen is that when you push these ones down and that one, these together, that should fold back and forwards very easily because the maths all adds up. So there you have it. So that's your basic. Oh, stay there. My surface is a little bit curved. There we go. So it stands up like that. Now to cut up our pieces. So I already cut the purple version. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Here it is. Okay, so there we go. We've got a purple version, and so this is Gorgeous Grape, and this is Coastal Cabana. And I'm hoping that I might be able to cut these all in one go. I'm wondering if I need to do a little bit of maths because I'm going to allow a little bit of a margin for all these pieces. So if I add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8, obviously. But if I take off 1/4 of an inch for my border for each one, so that's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and then that's a whole inch. Basically, I only need this piece of cardstock to be 7 inches wide. And also, if I'm doing that way, I only need the cardstock to be 5 1/4 high. So I'm going to chop these two down and try and find the middle kind of road for these. So I'm going to cut this one here, and I'm cutting two together because I use the thinner basic white to stamp on, so I can cut through 2 layers on my trimmer very, very easily. And I'm cutting this down to 5 1/4. I'm just figuring that it's easier to cut these bigger measurements now than later. So, okay, and then I'm going to cut this to 7 inches. And we'll save these pieces for a rainy day. So the first pieces that I'm going to cut are those side sections. So I need to cut that at 1 3/4 off one end, and then turn it around and cut at 1 3/4 for this end. Okay, so I'm going to pop that there for a second just to bring these back on to show you how that works. Oh, can't get them apart. Come on. Right. So that should go there. that would go there, that one goes there, and that one goes there, and we've got our perfectly measured border going around those pieces. So yep, that works. Okay, so now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, because we're going to be cutting different sort of shape sections now. So I'm going to suggest that what we need to do is actually cut this piece, these pieces that go up here first. So I am going to cut, so that measures 1.5 inches at the top. So these only need to measure 1.25. But sorry, I'm just thinking this through. Actually, I'm going to do the top one first. So I'll cut that 1.25. Okay. So that'll fit there. Then this measures, now I haven't actually taken a measurement for this. Let's see what that measures. 2.5 inches. So this only needs to be 2.25. Although we are going to end up with not having, sorry, and let me just think this through, because I want the picture to carry through properly. So actually I need to cut off 1/4 inch from there first, don't I? Because I don't need that section, because that's the border section. Okay, I'm going to take off 1/4 inch there first. Just measure this again, because I've forgotten the number. 2.5. So this, then I'm going to cut off 2.25. Now that should leave us with 1.5, but I need 1.25. So this is see, that section's more interesting than that section, so I'm actually going to make an executive decision and choose to keep that section instead. Cut that off there. Okay, then on this side, that measured 1 inch, so I only need 3/4 inch on that side. Although if I cut off 1.5 and then cut off the 1/4 in a minute, that should make it perfect. Okay, so 1.5 off that side, turn it around. Oh no, sorry, not 1.5, 1. Sorry, I'm just confusing myself. Let me just check how much I need. Okay, I've cut off too much on the other side, but never mind. Just going to go with it. So that's 1.25. That's 3/4 that side, and then this side needs 3/4. I'm just going to cut that bit off there. What shall I do off there? No, do off that bit. Sorry, I'm talking to myself now. I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm doing maths. Anyway, it'll look fine. It'll look fine. I haven't even got the chat up. Sorry about this, guys. Right, so now what I need to do is cut these two pieces. Got that there, that there. There's more the bit of purple. There it is. Okay, so this needs to measure 1 3/4. We may as well just take. Oh, that's perfect. 1 3/4. Don't need to do any extra cutting of that bit. Oh, that was because I measured it to fit before. Ah, okay, right. I'm going to have to think of an easier way to do this. It's because I'm trying to think of all the different margins that I kind of got myself into a little tiz. Okay, let's start gluing it together and see what it looks like. I think it's because it's like a pattern going through. It's not just patterned paper. It's a pattern that kind of got bits. It's got bits that sticks together. So, right. Let's say hello. Hi, Shaz, Valerie, Martina, Susan, Andrea, Heidi, Liz, Roberta, Gina. You're having your morning tea. Oh, lovely. Hi, Barb. Hi, Anne. Hi, CJ. Hi, Frederic. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Sally. Hi, Cindy. Oh, it's loads of you. Hi, 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 hi. Okay, right, let's stick this all together and see what happens. I do like this template though. I think I'll be using it again. And I liked what Martina suggested about putting something like a focal point here. So if you imagine if you use different papers, and I think I might have a go doing it with this, and then maybe put a butterfly in the middle. I just found that stamping that I must have done a while back. I thought, oh, that would look nice. Or just mix it up with some patterned designer series paper, you know, mix and match it up a bit. Okay, so that section goes there, that one goes there. Oh, and I see that's not quite right, is it? Oh, yes, oh, yes, it is. Yes, I can see the pattern continuing now. I thought the pattern didn't continue. I mean, you could cut this so that it has finer margins. That's the other option. I'll get you in a bit closer. Okay. Well, it's been a sunny and a rainy day here in Mid Wales. Sort of, you know, spring showers. Right, now I've got to find those extra pieces. So I've got that one. That one goes down there. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. I love it when this happens. That one goes there. That one goes there. Yay! I think because it's got the folds in it, it doesn't really matter too much if the patterns don't precisely add up. I think people are only going to notice if they open up the whole card and start to really interrogate it and go, oh, has she done it right? Has she not done it right? You've had spring torrential rain. Oh, wow, Sally. You're in the more east to me, aren't you? Oh, I've been doing that as well, Gina. It's actually been a bit more interesting today. Yesterday was a bit boring. Oh, actually, no, towards the end it got a bit more interesting. But yeah, today's a bit more interesting. Right, let's see what this looks like then. So I think if you were designing some paper, that's actually quite a fun way to put it in the envelope, isn't it? Like that, present it like that. And then they open it out and then, ta-da! Oh, I've still got that problem with this bit of paper. It's got a fold in it. Let's have a flat a bit. Why is it wanting to do that? I guess it's because I've got that. Unless it's got to open more. Oh, no, stay. Stand more like that. Let me just get rid of this. There we go. Right, let's stick these together and see what happens. Those are my spare bits. Right, just going make sure this all matches before I start sticking them down. Goes there, goes there. Nope, that way around. Right. Hi, Ruthie. Yeah, well, some of you guys I know are big purple fans, and some of you are blue fans, and then some of you are purple and blue fans. So there we go. Flan? No, you're not a flan. Sorry, you're a fan. My lips couldn't get around the word then. Well, not my lips, my teeth more like. Martina's happy because she got her parcel. Very good. What was this about extra dies? I missed that. Sorry, I missed that comment. I'll try to stick these down quite quickly because I really am itching to have a go doing a butterfly something now. See, I'm wondering if I can figure out the measurements a bit more precisely. That might help things. But I think because we've got, in terms of calculating this section here, we've got 2 folds here and only 1 fold there, so therefore we've got that extra bit of margin to calculate. So I think I was halfway there with it, but not quite fully there. I think I know what I should have done. Yes, I think I figured it. I can figure it in my head, but I can't verbalize it. I'll have to go do the whole process again, and then I think when I get to that point, I'll know what I'm doing. Dies which no stamp the border ones on one with the dingle dangle. Oh, you got 2 lots. Oh, yeah. Now someone, who do I know has got that one? And actually, I think it was Martina was showing me. Or was it someone else? Yeah, they look amazing, and they're much bigger than what you expect. Maybe it was Wendy. Hold on, what am I doing? Right. No, that goes, that folds back. Right, get this right. That folds, that's a valley fold. Oh, I haven't actually done this, burnished these yet. I've wondered why it wasn't doing it. There we go. Whoop. So yeah, that's how it looks. So you've got this sort of pop-up section. Okay, so I think with the second one, I'm not going to worry about a pattern going all the way through. I think I'm actually going to do different patternings. I'll do something different in the middle, these 2 sections. But actually no, I'll do this on the side and the side, and then those 2, and then do block colour for this, and then do a really gorgeous butterfly in the middle. Right, so for those of you wondering how to do this, again, I will go through the cutting process. So you need to cut your cardstock to measure 5.5 inches by 8. If you're doing this in centimetres, it's quite easy to do the conversion, because you're kind of working 5, 10, 15, 20. That's sort of there's sort of 5 centimetres to every 2 inches roughly. Okay, then we're going to Oh, right, blade popped out then. I think I might need to stand up for this. I find it easier to stand. Okay, so we're going to put the cardstock in at 2 inches and score. Turn it around at 2 inches and score. Put it in at 1.5, and this time we're going to cut from that 2-inch mark. Oh, it's not in. It's popped out. Right. Sorry, I did it up this time. I did it from the 6 to the 2 instead, because that's where my blade was. Then turn your cardstock around, put it in at 1.5, and then cut from the 2-inch mark, or the score mark, down to the next score mark, which is at 6 inches. Move your cut blade out the way, then pop your cardstock in at 3 inches and score from the cut point to the cut point. If you want to do your middle score now, you can do that. Go to 4 inches and score from the top section and then the bottom section. Then move it into, no, hold on, I'll get that into an inch. Yeah, move that to 5 inches and then score just the middle section there. Like that. Okay, and that is it done. Ta-da! Like that. Right, so let's bring that pretty paper in. So I need this to measure 5.25 inches. So I'm just going to trim that down. And I'm just going to cut off 1 3/4 on this side. And because I'm not worried about the pattern kind of going across and repeating, I'm just going to cut both ends off now that I need. Although I'm doing that and I'm thinking that's kind of boring. I don't like that. So I'm just going to do that again. Okay. I might end up using that piece on the sides. What's 3/4 plus 3/4? Oh yeah, I could do that. Might just use that section for the middle. Hold on, I've just got to measure that. So that's 2.5. So do that at 2.25. So I need this to be 3/4 of an inch here. That's a bit more interesting, that side, so that's the side I want to use. Okay, so that's my little side panels. And as I said, I want to maybe find something different to go in here. So, shall I have a quick look? I might have got some stamped one sheet wonders that I can use up. I'm trying to look for something that's got quite a bit of background to it. No, can't find anything. Okay, I know what I'll do is I'll go through some of my DSP. Ooh, okay, so this is the designer series paper that's available to people who place orders of over £150, and it's a special collection that you can purchase with your Stampin' Rewards, and it's featured in the back of the catalogue. So I'm looking for just a neutral pattern. I was hoping for something a bit greeny and bluey. Okay, hold on. Ooh, that one. That will do. I'm going to use that one. I only need a little bit of it. I just need a section to go across there, and then that piece in the middle. So, 2, 4. So I need that to measure 3.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut this at, so that measured 1.5, so I need 1.25 there. Hi Glenna! And then 1.25 there. Sometimes I think that 1.25 always looks either smaller or larger than what I need it to be, but it's actually fine, if that makes sense. Right, did I cut that right? Yeah, did I cut that right? Yes, I did. Okay, and then I need this to be cut at 1.75 there. So basically, I'm cutting everything 1/4 of an inch smaller than the space that I need to stick it into, so that I've got that margin going all the way around. So that can go there and there. I'm just going to do a quick measure of this middle section. So that measures 2 inches by 2.5. So do 1.75 by 2.25. And that will be that middle section there. So now I need to find in my, I did see I have got a box of little bits and pieces. I'm going to see, oh look, oh, now I know this isn't Stampin' Up, but these were sent to me by the lovely Linda Yamakoto a while back, and I haven't used them. Look, I wonder if I could just stick some butterflies in the middle there. Now if you want to cut them out using your die cutting machine, I was just trying to see if I had some spare butterflies in the bottom of here. I have all sorts of fun things. Oh look, there's a yellow one. There we go. That might do. What else have I got in here? I'm trying to see if I've got some kind of doily. No, doilies will be in the doily box. Doilies. Let's see if I've got something cute that could go in the middle there. Something like that. Oh. I've got these massive ones. I don't know if this will be a little bit too big, but we'll see. Oh, hi Miss Lorraine. Nice to see you. Oh, now the Coastal Cabana gets a bit lost, doesn't it? Because look, we're Coastal Cabana on Coastal Cabana, so I'm wondering if we could do... No, the yellow. Then now the yellow gets lost with the gold, so... Or maybe just that on its own would be fine. It's just all very pretty, isn't it? Although I just think it needs an additional contrast. Maybe if I put Coastal Cabana onto the back of there. Let's see if I've got anything else. Alright, we'll have a think about that. Or just even a circle of Coastal Cabana. Let me just see if I've got anything rummaging around in here. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's what I needed. Just needs that contrast. So whenever you're using embellishments on a card and you think, oh, I've put that embellishment there, but I can barely see it, have a think about what the colours are and where the colour contrasts are happening. Okay. I thought I had a full glue a second ago. Right, let's see if these will stick down now. You were washing windows, Annie, were you? Yes, much more important stuff going on here. We're sticking and gluing. Or cutting and sticking and cutting and folding and sticking. You're watching the replay, which you got your promotion. Oh, I see. I've got you now. I was wondering what Frederica was talking about then. Yes, got you now. Oh, Glenna, thank you for your message. I meant to reply to you. I've just not got round to it. Oh, we've got 2 Lorraines in. Isn't that funny? Well, I went to an event on Friday where there were 2 Ruths and there were 2 Wendy's. That got a little bit confusing. Yeah, so for people who are wondering why some people's names have got a spanner next to it, it just means that they've got some administration powers. They're just people that I know and trust who can moderate the chat. It's mainly really, again, just in case bots come in and start sharing weird and wonderful links. Oh, and also I have got the setting on my channel that you can't just pop links in the chat. Only the mods can do that. So do let me know if the moderators misbehave themselves and use their powers unwisely. I'll soon sack them and, you know, get new ones. Oh dear. It really isn't a promotion. It's more like an inconvenience to them, Heidi. And I didn't really ask them either. I just did it. Actually, it's funny that in discussions when I was at a YouTube event a few months ago, and they were talking about mods and stuff, and this guy was kind of because I thought it was like quite a big deal, you know, if you did it, and he was like. And he was saying that on his live streams, basically people who are there quite regular, they all become. He just does it quite willy nilly, just adds people. So I've realised that actually I could do that a bit more. I could have a few more views. So I might start, dishing them out a bit more because it is helpful to have a few people in there who I can just say, oh, can you grab that link for such and such? So it is helpful for me. Thank you, and I do appreciate it. Please don't feel you have to though. Don't feel it's some like big responsibility. It really isn't. And feel free just to sit in the background as well if you don't want to get involved. Right, there we go. So let's see if this works. This was Miss Martina's idea. So I'm going to pop that one to the side, one to that side. I just love this idea that you could, stick this in an envelope. And when it comes out, it just looks so beautifully framed, doesn't it? The way it is. And then when you open it up, you've still got that nice kind of framing. You know what? I'm convinced my table is bending towards me because there's no reason why this shouldn't stand up. Maybe it is. Anyway, I might should do it. Ooh, this is crying out for gemmage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wendy says, I don't usually get involved. How come Janice isn't a mod? I've just realised there's a few more. Right, okay, let's have a look. Janice, Who else is on here? Lorraine. Oh, Cindy as well. Heidi. So these are folks who have been following me for a really long time, and shall I say I trust them with my life? I don't know. Would I go that far? I trust them with my channel. Would be rare and Aussie to get to be a mod because of different times unless they're a shift worker. Well, you're on enough, Heidi, so you can. Right, Heidi. All right. I am on Janice's actually. Where's Cindy gone? There you are. All right, there we go. Yes, Ruth, there's Lorraine. Lorraine, you have the power. Lorraine has been one of the people that very early on with my Zoom events, Lorraine would help me out by helping me with the room, and actually Heidi has been fantastic doing that as well. And then as others have kind of got used to using Zoom, because remember, like 2.5 years ago, who had heard of Zoom? I mean, it wasn't a thing. And so some of us had to go on quite a steep learning curve figuring out how Zoom worked. And I was very grateful for ladies who would come to my Zoom events and just be able to figure out how to be hosts and help moderate that. So thank you, ladies. Right, do I stick one of these on? It's not, for me, it's not quite in keeping with it now, but if I hadn't have done that one, I think I would have put one of those on. But there we go. Right, oh, look at you all in a row now. Yes, Heidi needs to behave now, because I can take back the power, you know. I just use a bunch of those doilies on some cards, turn them over and use a white size. Yes, yeah. I think that's the thing to remember, that if the colour doesn't work for you, change it. Change it. Right, I am going to leave it there because I'm hoping that my bolognese is cooked. I quickly put a bolognese in the Instant Pot just before I came live. And hopefully it's cooking away. So there you have it. So these two were made using what I stamped last night. So the other two images that I stamped were these ones and these ones. So if you haven't seen that video, please go and watch that. It's in the replay. Now somebody left a comment saying she was disappointed that the closed captioning wasn't happening. Could someone tell me, oh actually no, I can do it on myself. Can someone tell me if closed caption is available for live? Oh, I've just seen that it doesn't appear to be available on this live stream. Ooh, now that's strange. Right, I am going to go back and check my settings because I thought closed captions were available for live streams. Or maybe I thought they weren't. Oh, I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Okay, so I've just looked up mine and it says not available. It should be available. Right, okay. I'm going to go and double check that, because if it's something that I can change on my end, I definitely want closed captions to be available. And I'm really sorry if that's not happened, because I am a great believer in inclusion for people who have disabilities or, you know, have additional needs. So I'm going to go and check that out, guys. Sorry about that. Yes, but so can someone tell me if they usually have captions, would there normally be captions on this? It should. Right, thanks CJ. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to go and check that. I wonder if it's something that YouTube have withdrawn or if I just need to change a setting. I'm sorry. Right, lovely to see you all. Thank you, Gina. Lovely to see you. I'm so glad this falls when you're having your morning cup of tea. Lovely to have you here. And I might see you again later. Esther will be on a bit later. I'll just see how my evening goes. Okay. Right. Lots of love. Bye.